free and we can move on. I did, and I'm sorry I got a little heated after the initial comments. I said back and watched the chat. At that point, I sent you a message saying it didn't matter. They made their mind up. I was wrong. So, we was cool. We was cool. Okay? I don't want other people to know the whole truth. I need you to know that I just wasn't lying. It was never about jealousy. I went to him first and told him I was sorry, and what happened shouldn't have happened. And I have excuses, and I have no excuses as a married woman, and I felt wrong. And I said, well, I'm glad you didn't give up when it first started off rough, because at the end of the day, it came out the way it should have. I was talking about my live the night before. I appreciate you, and I'm sorry you were involved in all this stupid shit. I said, it's okay. I care about you both. And I tried my damnedest to keep it off the app when Casey went 2 days on rant, even threw Mallory's name in it, and had to step in just because it wouldn't have turned out fairly on her platform. That's my opinion. Mallory, please don't come for me. It's just my opinion. I'm not trying to bash you. Okay? Next. Dear Lord. So the next day she was live. So that morning, the following morning after my live, she was live, and she was making like cryptic comments in her live, I believe, about like, if Petty, just she was basically saying that oh, let me see it. I think it's here. Hold on. Anyways, this was me showing proof that I had not talked to Petty, like, about anything in regards to the messages at that time from the overnight. And she was basically saying that, I believe she was like being cryptic that day. She didn't say that she sent any kind of particular screenshots, but she was hinting that she had given information, that she was telling the truth about certain things in Casey's live, and that there were only that the only people that may have seen something was Queen, and basically saying, like, if they got out, she would know who it was. And I said, I haven't spoken to Petty about anything. At the time, I did not yet. And she said, I never said you did. I said that I sent a receipt to you and Victoria, which I told you I sent her everything to, since y'all already spoke. Sorry, my Wi-Fi is so shitty. I don't understand why she thought me and her, Victoria, spoke on like intimacy stuff, because we didn't, but whatever. She willingly sent it to Victoria. I also said, I know it wasn't you, Queen, but whatever. What's done is done. About the receipts, I guess. And I said, it's okay, but I had to make it clear because the only name you dropped during your co-host was me and not Victoria. So I had to prove my innocence to you, that I had not talked or shown anything to Petty that morning. Like, I showed her what I showed y'all, which was that morning, this is all me and him did. I was sharing videos to him. Okay? So there's that. It doesn't matter anymore. She was mad at Victoria for something else. I sent them to you two only to prove I wasn't lying. That's what she claims, is that she only sent me and Victoria, the only ones ever to know and see about the intimate text messages. Allegedly, that's what she's saying. I said, I know, that's all I took it for. I never said he initiated it. I never said anything. I said again, for the third time, it's none of my business outside of that. I told Casey after we apologized for doing what we did, and he was crying. It happened before with Petty. So she's saying she used the example, the bragging moment of, well, me and Petty had a pick and play before, to make Casey feel better during their intimate issues that they had amongst each other in the DMs. So Casey felt bad for doing what Casey did with her, and she's married, and she said she used the Petty example or the bragging moment that Casey showed on my live to make Casey feel better. And I said, it's all one big mess. Too late. Petty's pissed at me, doesn't understand. That was not my intention at all, whatever So I can't remember, like, at that moment, like, if Petty, I think at that point, Petty realized, like, that there was hints that she had given. It was because Casey had posted the whole pick and play comments, and that's why Petty was upset. That she was doing that on the back end and talking about dumb shit that was years ago or whatever. Whew. So there is that. That is the whole truth from me and my side. If y'all have questions or concerns, feel free to pick a box, but I'm so done with you, Sunshine. I haven't talked about you. I cried the other day in Smash's Live because you let off. You were the one to let out something that you claimed was sacred and that you didn't want to hurt Petty ever with it. And you've been holding on to it for years and you would never do that to him. And all because you got dropped out of a box. You can turn the comments on. All because you got dropped out of a box the other night, you decided it's time to drop the bomb. And my opinion is that you've been holding this shit in and that you've been using it against him all these years. You have been bragging about you part of the Petty crew and da-da-da-da. And I find it very fucking odd, if we're going to be honest, ma'am, that you are so upset and pressed over this man. For you to get so upset and so hurt when you clearly were crying to me and telling me that you would never want your marriage to be at risk, and then you drop that shit. I really do hope for a fact that your husband also knows about it, because clearly Petty said his wife is very, very aware of these old ass messages. And maybe you should go mind your own fucking business and your fucking marriage and leave me the fuck alone, because I didn't do shit to you. I quietly unfollowed you. I didn't even blow you up the other night when you hurt me like the way you did by posting it freely. But you made it sound like if they got out, the two people who had them. And guess what I found out through the grapevine a few days ago? That I'm not the only one who knew about them. So you lied, and you said that you have never discussed it or showed it outside of Casey and me and Victoria, when I heard through the grapevine that I believe OG had made a comment a while back about Petty pick and play. I can't say that she's seen the receipts, but someone told her about it, correct? Correct? She told you too, Rivka? So you fucking lied. You fucking lied. You lied to me. You lied to Victoria. You lied to Pam when I asked Pam about it. And Pam double checked to see if anybody else knew about it. And you told her, nope, I didn't tell nobody else.
Hi, Mama. I just wanted to come up and say, yeah, I have known about this since last year. She told me privately in a call on Snap.
Okay, so but she want to post shit like I'm some sneaky and I'm the only one that knew and I was hiding it and da-da-da-da. I did it out of respect for her, and it was none of my fucking business. It was none of my fucking business. I heard her side of the story. I confronted Petty about it on the back end about it, and Petty told me his situation, and it's still none of my business to tell you what emotional or mental situation he was in at that time. But exactly. I had a conversation with both of them, and I made it very clear that I don't believe in infidelity. And it was wrong, and they did make a mistake, but am I gonna fucking just dip out? My father had issues too as I grew up, and he changed, and he's happily still married to my mom. So I don't just boot people for a mistake.
She told me about it too. She would brag about it. She told many people about it, actually, that I've talked to, but we all continued to tell her it's none of our fucking business, because one, it's not, we didn't do it, and we're not the married people that done it. I didn't know it was 3 years ago. She made it out to seem like it was still an active thing to me.
No, if you check the Petty even said he probably still has it, but the timestamps are at least 2 years old. I think. I don't have them anymore, but I know that they're old. Like, it's way older than a year and a half.
That's crazy. Yeah, she made it seem like it was recent. So yeah, I've been knowing about this, and anytime I've had a confrontation with her, she said that it would be really bad if this got out for Petty, and would try and use it against kind of Kendra and I both, especially when like the whole wasty stuff started happening. So
Oh yeah, and she tried to twist that story and lie about that in a clip that I heard of her live in the past couple days. The whole reason the Casey bullshit got started was not because I was concerned that Casey was talking to other women. I knew who the fuck was talking to Casey and who Casey was talking to. Okay, the whole thing that me and Casey had, it happened one time over the fucking phone, and it wasn't even over the phone. We weren't talking on a voice call. It was literally Snapchats of us talking shit to each other, dirty shit. That's literally it. Okay, bitch. That's it. One, I wasn't married. I wasn't even in a relationship. Two, the whole reason that it got started is because Miz got intoxicated and had read the script of a voice message on a Snapchat and took it as he was telling her goodbye and that he was going to take his life. So she made a big deal of it. She took it to Smashley, and of course, Smashley being the big-hearted person she is, she called a wellness check-in on Casey. That pissed Casey off. When all this was occurring, she had a call with me, her, and Kat on Discord, where she tried to cover her ass and tell me that Casey had tried to hit on her and have phone X with her, but she told him no, that she had a real DICK at home and she didn't want a plastic one, and she was very happy with her husband. Come to find out, it was completely fucking a lie, and they had phone sex and were still fucking with each other up until that point, until she started lying and spewing all this bullshit. That's how that started. So please do, no, not you. It's a different cat. It's the Allie, I think is her real name. Her username was Cat, not Kendra, because we kind of look alike with our foreheads, but you know, whatever. But yeah, that's the true story for that. She has brought all of this upon her fucking self because she's been trying too hard to cover her ass.
Right. And I just think it's crazy that I'm now seeing that she's trying to make me out to be the bad guy because she's not blocked. She can come in here if she won't. I just unfollowed her quietly and respectfully. And I haven't heard a fucking word from her. And I know she knows that when she posted that shit that night that I fell apart in Smash. I know she got the word.
You killed me. To hear you in there fucking flipping out like that fucking broke my heart. Like, what the fuck? Why would you? And I know she done it just to hurt people. You can't tell me you didn't do that just to fucking hurt people, Miz. Why did you sit on it for so long?
and why is she trying to throw Queen under the bus if she wasn't trying to hurt anybody? Like,
TikTok, yeah.
me too. I'm marked safe
But
from
the
that.
thing is I'm not a dummy. I know when I feel like something could turn into mess. So I knew I had the receipts, period. And the only thing, like I said, is missing was her sending the intimacy screenshots because I didn't want it on my device. And I told her once to unsend it and she never wanted to unsend it for me. So I deleted the screenshots because I didn't want them in my phone and be responsible for that because it was none of my business. All I took it is that she wasn't lying, that her and Petty had a moment in the DMs at one point and she wasn't lying. That's all. And I respected her. I respected her wishes. I understood. And I also, like I said, I don't want to know about y'all's dating or smex or whatever y'all are doing with each other behind closed doors and off screens. It's just not my platform I'm not plastering it. I'm not. It could have been anybody's. It could have been anybody. It could have been Kendra having fun with a man on the back end and saying I wouldn't have posted it. It's just not my business. I might have looked at it and said, okay, this person was telling the truth. I see it, but I'm not gonna plaster it. I just refuse. That is just not how I work on my platform. So if anybody felt like I was being deceitful or her post made it look like I was being deceitful or anything, I just wanted to prove my innocence that she requested. She was just showing that she wasn't lying. It was none of my business. I addressed it to both parties off the app, told them I don't agree with it. It is what it is. And it was old as fuck. And and she basically threatened, well, if it gets out, I know the two people who have it, me and Victoria, but then y'all know about it.
No, like she was bragging about it, like I said to multiple people. I just want to make it really clear. She claims that it was for Robert and that like she done all this because Robert was treated bad and da 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 da. Ms., what about all the times that I know me and Rivka for a fact have had to talk to Robert and, you know, tell him, hey, a real friend is not going to sit there and get intoxicated and tell you you're a piece of shit human and a piece of shit friend multiple times on multiple occasions to your fucking face like Ms. did. So if she fucking cared about Robert, no, she's doing that for a fucking out so she can goddamn get the attention she fucking wants and get people to turn against Pastor Petty because he pissed her off because she can't respect a 70-year-old woman. Okay? I love you, Queen. Even Katie was there. So please, Queen, don't let this bullshit get to you. I know you're just here to prove the bullshit because I did see where some of those messages that she posted was cut the fuck off. So she's literally just trying to save fucking face, y'all. Like always, I'm glad everybody's waking the fuck up to it. And I love you and I love the baby. Please don't get fucking mad or like worried, okay? I love you.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. Anybody else? I know Malibu wanted up. I don't know if she's still here. I'm still listening to you guys. We already here, so we might as well.
Girl, I got a question.
Yes, ma'am.
A lady on the interwebs is just flicking her bean to a pillow while she looks at her screen.
I mean, I guess.
Girl, why is that anybody's bit?
Right.
Miss Sunshine, if you window licking, I'm gonna need you to get it the fuck together because you ain't making none of these dudes look crazy.
No.
Yeah, I mean, bro, listen, girl, I'm gonna need you to get in contact with Face Ass over there, okay, and figure out how to get some damn plane tickets and shit. Because at least she was traveling to the PP. You just over here bro. I'm getting out of here, girl. I can't do it. You rubbing the pillow, girl. She's rubbing the pillow. You rubbing the dick. Do you got a body pillow? You know what? That's asking too many questions. All right, goodbye.
Bye.
Queen, I just wanted to say she told me about it too, and she tried to give me receipts, and I said, nope, I don't want no receipts. It's not my business. Just like when she told me about her and Casey, I don't want no receipts. It's not my business. So I've been knowing. I didn't say anything because it's not my business.
I have been carrying this heavy weight over what I saw in November, and then sitting here in fear that she's going to slip it to somebody else who is going to release it, and then she's going to pinpoint it to me and Victoria because she passed it off that me and her were the only ones that have ever known or seen about it, really.
Yeah. I'm sorry that she is doing that to you.
That's wild. I mean, I feel better. I'm glad that I know I'm not the only one, and I had a inkling that I probably wasn't the only one, but I obviously didn't have proof. It's not like, you know, I can only go off what I physically see, or, you know, am being told without other receipts. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I get it. Yeah.
It's very stressful.
But that's just what I wanted to tell you.
Sorry, I don't like interrupting.
Okay. That's okay. I'm going to drop. Thank you for having me.
The reason I'm only up here is because I witnessed you in Smashley's live that night. I have no idea what you're talking about, by the way, but I know what I saw. And you couldn't even talk. You were so upset. And then I don't know who came up and got you. Blessings, I think it was. And she had to coax you off the live. You couldn't even talk. We couldn't even understand what you were saying. So you were so upset, devastated. And then they got you off the live because your baby, you know, you were really upset. So I came up here as a witness saying she was in Smashley's live and she was it was horrible. I felt so bad, but love you, Queen. Gotta go. Can you drop me?
Yeah. Yeah, your TV's loud as mine. I'm deaf as hell.
Thank you. This is hair wash night, so I'm chilling in the bathroom. If it's echoey, I'm sorry. I just want to make another example of how this woman will throw out anything and everything to get back at anybody for no reason. She will out your messages. She will hold messages against you. She is searching through many of our threads right now, all of us in this chat, whoever she spoke to. And for the people who have maybe recently blocked me, I'm not going to mention names, but I just want you to be very careful that I'm also being very careful that despite the block, I'm still hoping that she doesn't come for you too, boo. And to be very careful because she is on a rampage. And this is not fair. So
yeah,
I'm glad that you got to come up and say your piece. And for anybody in the future, don't trust this bitch. Literally.
Right. No holds, no bars. I'm not putting all the blame on her. I'm putting her messiness on her that right now, because she's trying to make it look like I was holding the secret, I don't know, of her and Petty's little intimate text messages, as if I chose just to do that for whatever reason. And I was just showing receipts that she was the one that said, don't show it. I'm protecting Petty. It's old stuff. I just wanted to prove that I wasn't a liar, this, that, and the other. So I showed the whole conversation and not just the edited parts, trying to make me look bad. And I made it very clear to Sunshine and to Petty over the phone that I don't condone what they did in the past. But I never blocked her, and I never blocked him for their behaviors. I treated them equally, and I told him how I felt as on a friend level. So there's nothing here saying that I'm holding just her accountable at all.
Can I say something real quick before I go? Because I got to rinse my hair here. I never once judged Sunshine for emotionally cheating on her husband with Casey. It was none of my business. I didn't blast it. I didn't blast text messages. Those were two people that I at one point cared for deeply. I never once thought of putting out messages and outing any of that. So the fact that people are upset because everybody's clapping back at the fact that Miss Sunshine is the reason why all of this is happening, she didn't have to do any of this. She's a salty bitch, and she needs to go work on her own life. And that's all I'm going to say. Love you, Queen.
Love you too. I never mistreated her. I never talked down to her when she admitted what she did with Casey or with Petty or whatever the case may be, because it's just, I'm not a marriage counselor, and B is not, I'm not going to do it. Like, again, at the end of the day, I've witnessed infidelity as a child and seen that people can change and people go through situations that make them weak, like, for you, Sunshine, to use me in your ploy of anger, that's your fault. That's not my fault that I believe that the other night you were not all clear up here and you decided to jump ship and you decided to plaster that information out. And now you got to deal with the questions that are coming with what you plastered and the judgment. That's what I think. I think you feel bad. I think you feel guilty that you decided to jump ship like that because you were upset over being dropped out of a box at the time, because you were coming in hot when Peppy, I believe, was in the box with us. Okay? And Petty had every right to drop you at that time because you were coming off a little hot. A little hot. And so you made the mistake of taking it there and posting this huge secret that you've been holding for years, that you never wanted to get out there because you care about Petty and it wasn't all his fault and we made a mistake to get at him to whatever. And that is a major fucking flip-flop move that you did. And you not only hurt him, but you hurt other people like myself, because you held that shit over my head since November saying, if he gets out, I know who it is. I know who it is. Like, and I still talked to you. I still kept you as a friend. I still kikied with you and didn't take it super personal because I knew I was never going to do it because I deleted it. I took it out of my thing and I had nothing to do with it. And I would have never done it anyway. I know my morals. So, hello, my dear.
Hi, sweetie. I'm only going to stay up here for a minute. I want to say, yes, I did start to take a lot of this on my shoulders because I was in the box. I had already started speaking. And as many times over the years, she come flying in like a rabid raccoon, screaming like a banshee, and I was not going to take it this time. I just wasn't. I was already starting my conversation, which had nothing to do with her. Yes, I kept talking until I wasn't going to take it. She got dropped. And then when all of this happened, I took that weight on that if I had kept my mouth shut and she hadn't gotten dropped, none of this would have happened. But I've let go of that because I know who I am. And I just want to say I love you, Queenie.
I love you too. Thank you for speaking.
And be kind to you and that baby, sweetheart.
We're good. I'm not super duper worked up because I knew I had the receipts. Like I'm not fighting for my life.
I can see that, and you handle yourself well. And okay, all right, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, bye. Yeah, so I mean, I just wanted to make it clear because I don't like when people got my comment cousins, side-eyeing me over some weird-ass stuff. Please, at the end of the day, when you see people posting receipts, make sure you get the whole thing and not just little sections. Okay, I'm willing to post from beginning to end on the conversation. I even if there's people's names in it, because like I said, when there was a little mention of how I felt about Casey being platformed on Mallory's thing, like Mallory knows that I have my differences of opinions on how she runs her platform. I'm not afraid to post that. I'm not calling her some bitch or I'm looking her up, because I'm not. And so I'm not afraid. I'm just not. I'm not afraid.
For Bob G, you say y'all covering up for him is pretty insane for so I think that the people that are saying they don't want no part in it, like they don't give, like it's not their business, like Queen is saying. I mean, I've said on my live, other people have said in the comments when the shit came out, like we are allowed to not want to know anybody else's, coochie invitations. That ain't got nothing to do with us at all. That's not covering up, because in reality, her putting out that conversation wasn't one-sided, as well as she's just as married as he is. So at the end of the day, they were both wrong to their spouse in that time, not to us. They don't owe us nothing. They're, Hot Dog and Cootie Cat don't owe us no loyalty. You know what I'm saying? At all. Like none at all. So for you to be saying that in the comment is quite fucked up. Because I don't care who's laying with who is fantasizing on who. I don't give a shit about none of that. I know what I'm doing. Queen knows what she's doing, and married and women in here that are in relationships know, hell, even the single bitches know what they doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even the single people in here know what they're doing and who they're laying with. I mean, listen, you can't post shit like this and then expect people not to crack jokes and shit like that. Like, bro, I'm really all I see when I think of that whole situation is you fucking rubbing a pillow. You know what I'm saying? And bro, what the fuck? What the fuck? Bro, there are some bitches out here that literally get their chat to pay for them to go and meet these people in real life to do the chitty chitty bang bang. And you over here rubbing a pillow while you know what I'm saying? Like, it's fucking weird. It's weird. But again, you decided to put it out here, whatever, it is what it is. But for Bob G to be claiming that we're in here defending or sticking up for, that ain't our place at all. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to act like we're worse women because we are bro, that ain't got shit to do. We ain't the ones fucking around on our husbands. We ain't the ones fucking texting random ass fucking dudes. You know what I'm saying? Talking about water holes and shit. We ain't the ones doing that.
Right.
So you cannot come at us because we looking at her like, bro, that to us as women, let's be honest. When you see a woman cheating on her husband, what do you think? Oh, she's a floozy. That's what you think. She don't respect herself. That is something she needs to work on. Shit. I'm sorry, Queen, but that kind of just got you know what I'm saying? Don't be coming in here acting like we're doing any of that because we don't care about it or want to know about it. I mean, shit, that ain't our business.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Hell, just make sure you make an extra fucking doctor's appointment. I don't know. I feel like you put them out because you wanted our advice. Shit. Clean the kuka. Why you at it? I mean, fuck.
Right. It's none of my fucking business. It really isn't. But Shiny Penny.
Hello. I'm so excited about the baby. Can't wait. I just have a question. I didn't see much after that Florida Man live thing.
Okay.
I was off the app. I didn't even see Robert. So obviously a lot has transpired. I did get to ask him some questions last night. But my question is, how is this on you if they did it as consenting adults. Why is this on you? I'm confused about that. Because I know your heart is.
Uh-oh. What happened? Who turned her off? Who muted her? I think that was an accident. Let me unmute you. Sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. I know your heart is pure gold and genuine. You're one of the most sincere people on this app. So I'm just not quite sure how you having those texts that you obviously didn't want is on you. It wasn't your secret to keep. It was theirs.
It's on me because it's me. We're just going to put it out there. I think that genuinely, it's on me because I've openly said that, Pastor Petty is my friend. And to me, off the app, he is like a brother of mine. And I feel like it's a jealousy thing. I think that think it's just anger that they don't have. I don't know. It's weird. And I think I find it very odd that people get so obsessed with wanting to feel like, I guess, accepted by him or like praised by him. Not everybody. I'm not saying y'all. I'm just saying those that are like so angry with him when things slip up. At the end of the day, like, if Petty finds something that I'm doing wrong and he wants to hold me responsible, he can. Even when I first met him and he didn't know who I was and he put me in the hot seat and made me feel some type of way, I never flipped on him and like went to platforms and disrespected, disrespected him because he made me feel uncomfortable. All I did later on, months later, was approach him privately and talk to him like a human being and just say, hey, like, why me? Like, why was I in the hot seat? Like, I barely knew who you were, and we talked it out. And he was just like, I was just being nosy and making content at that point. And you were new in our group of people. And and he goes, I have no problem with you. So at the end of the day, we squashed it and look where we are now. We've built a really fun, exciting platform, entertaining. He's changing and has been changing into something more positive and not so, at least in my opinion. I know there's people in here that have their own, so I respect it, whatever. But in my opinion, the dynamic between him and I changed after we had a normal conversation versus let me get on platforms and just bash him because I felt some type of way.
Right. I think sometimes that brings people closer together. You're an adult. You talked it out. You worked it out. So that's just why I'm confused. Nothing should be put on you. You just knew. That's all. It's not like you encouraged it and threw a party for him. So it's not on you 100%.
Yeah. I mean, I know. I'm just disappointed in Sunshine because, this is what's crazy about the other night. And I can screenshot it and show y'all this too, since you want to be so freely giving out screenshots. Was the night that Petty dropped her. She was messaging me while I was still sitting in the box with him and everybody else in the boxes. And I was quiet the majority of the time. I think I was just up there because I was up there and I was just regulating boxes so people could all have a turn to speak. And she's telling me, she's just telling me like she cares about me and him. And, she only did what she did with Mallory because she was upset that Mallory was talking on him and this, that, and the other. And and she was asking to get back in a box. And it was a lot because I'm like reading her stuff and answering her to acknowledge her, but also I'm in a box. And then, within 30 minutes of Petty stopping his live, she went live and plastered their intimate conversation. And I was so confused. Because I was like, didn't you just say like you care about me and Petty and like you're always so protective of us? And then now you're out here plastering it and calling him names and it was very, very Twilight Zone for a moment that night. And that's why I got overwhelmed. Like I was confused. I was so confused.
That's exactly how I felt taking a break after that went down and coming back. And it seems just like everybody that was together is fighting at each other's throat. So
right. And so let's go ahead and make this clear, just in case she decides she wants to post what I just said about what she said to me while she got dropped out of the box. There's a comment. Let me go ahead and just I'm gonna put it up because I already told Petty. Just in case. Just in case she decided she wanted to post what I just talked about the other night. Okay. Unfortunately, I feel what just happened completely divided shit. And she was talking about Robert's live. Okay. Mind you, I'm in a box trying to help Petty at the same time while these are coming in. Okay. And Robert was treated unfairly. He loves you, just so you know. And I said, I know. Like, I was giving short answers because I was busy. She said, Petty is upset. We are all trying to calm the storm. And I said, yes, he is. I reread this because today when y'all were talking about it, not you, but y'all, the common cousins, were talking about, like, Petty was like talking about why did she get so upset or something in the box, or everybody was contemplating that. I went back to my messages because she does kind of explain herself. So I saw this comment and saw I misanswered her because I read it differently. And mind you, I don't think she was like completely in the right state of mind. She was upset, all this, that. So I read it as Petty is upset. And I put a comma in there when I read it. We are all just trying to calm the storm. And I said, yes, he is. But I thought it was in regards to like Mallory because she had brought up Mallory. Oh, is there a name? I mean, her name's, I know her account has been up. Really? I can't. Oh. Well, there's that. Anyways, I just wanted to make it clear that I read it differently. I thought it was about Mallory. It was about Mallory when she was referencing that comment, but she was talking about the Robert live. So again, She was talking two different subject matters and all of that. Sorry, I don't think I did, but I'll take it down. Hold on. Don't look at me. Hold on. Get my big ass head.
I couldn't see it, but I don't have good eyesight, so other people obviously have much better eyesight.
Clearly, I didn't see that. Let me just change it to something more uplifting. Hold on.
There you go.
There we go. Okay. So, yeah. So I just wanted to make it clear that, like, if she posts that from the other night when she got dropped out of the box, that's not what I meant. Like, yeah, I agree. He's upset because we're trying to calm the storm. I thought she was referencing the Mallory portion of the conversation. And again, I can post that from beginning to end just in case she wants to crop that out. And you can see that she had brought up Mallory and like contacting Mallory's family and why she did it. So I was mixing up two conversations at once that she was talking to me about while I was actively live in his box trying to help with the boxes. I saw the name and I saw it when the screenshots were posted. My screenshots?
I didn't see the name.
They're saying that they seen him earlier.
When Petty showed them, her name was up top.
Petty showed them too by accident?
Her name was up top.
Okay. Well, I know that there's a few people that follow her on IG, so that's her IG name, so I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I didn't see it. But I did see it when Petty did it. But I think I've heard her name before, so.
She has given her full name before. Well, that was my apologies. Like, I'm not trying to do all that. So it was her Instagram, and I know she talks to other common cousins, so my apologies. And I thought I've seen her Instagram name be posted before as well, so my bad.
It wasn't done in malice. You're good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for answering my question. I appreciate it.
Okay. It's on her social media. She should change it. I'm just reading comments. It's her IG. It's fine. Well, I didn't mean to do that. I've sworn I've seen messages and like that it was already known, but my bad. I apologize, Sunshine. Anyone who knows you wouldn't have posted it. I feel like we've seen the messages before. We've seen messages before. Yeah, no, absolutely not. Okay, well. Anyways, at the end of the day, I just wanted to show you guys that, you know, I don't appreciate her disrespecting me like that when I clearly just stepped away quietly. I didn't start anything. I didn't accuse her anything. I didn't start a fight with her about how I felt about the other night. You know, if you're gonna try to make me look bad, like that just shows me what terrible of a person you are, because I was gonna stay silent about separating myself from you and how you hurt me the other night. So, like, respectfully, if you could, like, if you're gonna battle, then leave me out of it, because I'm not here for it. I have nothing to gain from arguing with you at all. At all. If you didn't want to feel like you got excluded, you shouldn't have acted on impulse and emotion the other night and posted your own secrets. You should have just, and you know, you shouldn't have held on to him for 3 years. That's my question. How about that? If you're gonna go live later and be upset with me and talk shit, could you go ahead and answer my question as to why you decided you felt compelled that you had to keep messages from 2-3 years ago? What's your intention on that? Because if you didn't want to hurt Petty genuinely, you would have never held on to that conversation. I'll tell you why I hold on to conversations is because it's people like you. It's people like you who like to flip the switch and turn it into your narrative. That is the only reason why I keep certain conversations, and I still don't keep intimate ones that are thrown at me. That's all.
Okay, my question is, I've been coming in and out because I've been busy around my house, so I haven't heard everything. But my question with the whole thing is, she doesn't have any blackmail on him if his wife knows. His wife knew, and she already forgave him. And it's like, wifey said today, an intimate relationship versus a text relationship is way different. So you have no blackmail on him at all. The only blackmail you would have is if his wife didn't know. But she already knew 3 years ago. She forgave him. So you have nothing. You don't have anything because we don't matter. The only thing that matters is Pastor Petty's wife and his children. That's it. Right? So what's her thing? She thinks that he's going to lose everybody because he's a human and he sinned. No, he's not. His only judge is God. We don't judge him just like he doesn't judge us.
Right. I think that I genuinely, the only thing I can think of is that she held, I mean, maybe her husband don't know. So she thought maybe Mrs. Petty didn't know. But clearly he has an open conversations with her. And she doesn't with her significant other. And if that's the case, that I'm sad for her. But at the end of the day, I literally think she held on to it to just do damage with his character online when she was ready. She doesn't, I mean, even if she was like, well, even if the wife knows, at least I can paint him in a bad picture and give it to people who hate him, and they can run with it and continue to terrorize him. That's my opinion.
Okay, well then we just won't give any attention to that, and we'll just keep going on on our merry way with the Comment Cousins and his happy marriage. So checkmate, girl. It didn't work.
Yes, ma'am.
And if your husband doesn't know, well, I mean, he may know now because people that don't like Petty are going to post it, and Lord forbid it ends up on an FYP page.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah.
Love you. I love your baby. I love your face. Have a good night.
Good night.
Thanks for having me up.
You're welcome. So I don't know, but like if you're going to go live later or you're going to use somebody else's platform to be upset with me, I would love for you to answer that question as to why you decided you wanted to keep it for 3 years if you didn't plan ever on hurting this man and it was a mistake and it was one time and blah, 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 whatever, you know. Then why did you keep it for 3 years? Yeah, I mean, that's how I feel. Voices, that's how I feel. But if you genuinely cared about Petty as much as you have told me, and you owned up to what you guys did was a mistake, then you would have never held on to it and used it against him or bragged about it to others. I think it's just something I wouldn't brag about, in my opinion. But respectfully, I'm over it. I'm done. I hope that y'all now have a clearer, at least my side. I don't care if you believe her. Fine. It's fine. If you think I was doing something shady, if you understand my side and we're cool and I can let it go now, then I can let it go. But like, I'm very disappointed in you, Sunshine. Like, how do you tell me like you care so much about me, and I'm, you know, you want me to be having a happy, healthy pregnancy and focus on the baby, and then I don't know, you probably found out that you weren't being followed by me today and just turned on me. That's crazy work. Let it go. Let it go. You know, so that just shows me like how ungenuine you are of a person, because you hurt me the other night and I haven't attacked you. I haven't gone into the DMs and freaked out, and all I did was back away. Good night, girl. I'll get some sleep. Man, I told Petty today, I was like, sir, I'm not even going to do all the TikTok streets, anything tonight. I'm just going to lay low. But here I am. Yeah. So, good night, guys. Go behave on the TikTok streets. Go behave. Go behave, okay? Don't end up on the news tomorrow. At least, like, if you are going to end up on the news, be good news, I guess. Good night, guys. Good night. I hope this is over between her and I, and she can move on. Good night. Get out of here. Bye. Go on. Go on, Gail. Robin. Good night. Ellen, girl, good night. Elena. Good night. Me first. All right. Good night.